Hi, and welcome to JavaScript tutorial of a Tic Tac game. This game is actually at the request of one of my viewers out there, so let me show you his email. That's his email. I've actually just cut it off and paste it right here. It says create another one connected with JavaScript. Okay, because I did created one tic-tac-toe using Python. Let me show that to you guys before we continue. And right here is my Python tutorial of the tic-tac-toe, just like any other tic-tac-toe game there. So I'm going to close that and let's come to our main program for the day, which is JavaScript there. So I'm going to reset and let's play another game. There we go. Player who is winning. Okay, we can even scrap it all and start the game all over. There we go, guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you straight into my Notepad++ and let's put one of these beautiful JavaScript tic-tac-toe tutorial together. Alright, so let's do that now, guys. Okay, and welcome back to my JavaScript tutorial for tic-tac-toe. I'm going to start by clicking on language and let's just select PHP, then enter the shell there. So in here I'm just going to enter tic-tac-toe. There, that's the title for my game. Now the next thing I'd like to do is I need to link it to BootStrap. Right underneath the title, there we go. I needed the BootStrap so that I can enhance the look of the game itself. So the next thing I like to do is I'm going to call the following class inside the BootStrap so that I can modify the look. So let's say p-3 and the background color I'm going to make that bg equals info. You guys should be able to see all of those inside the BootStrap page there. Now the next thing is let's come in here and define our form, and the name of my form is going to be tic-tac-toe. There we go. Close that. Now what about the method? The method I intend to use, I'm going to say equals post. Close that there. And action, I'm going to save this as, let's call it tic-tac dot php. There, close that. Right, looking good. And let's close the form right there. Alright, so I'm going to save my project now as tic-tac. Save. And right in here I'm going to save my project in there as tic-tac. That is the name I gave to it here. There we go. Save. And there. That is it. The file is saved now. Now the next thing I'd like to do is I need to define my heading. So I'm going to say this heading display. This display is to enhance the size of font itself. So font width, make that bold using the enhancing the BootStrap, and it's going to be white. And what would be my heading? So I'm going to call it tic-tac-toe. There we go. And let's just add some lines like you guys saw earlier. Yeah, that will do. And let's close off that. Come right in here. There we go. Okay, while at it, I might as well just go to my browser and let's see how it looks like. This is the previous one. I'm just going to copy that, come in here and paste that in there. I think it's called Tic Tac. So press enter. Okay, that's it right there, but the title is not okay. The title is there, but I think I must have make a mistake there. Let's come in here. Okay, look right there, there should be an equal, so let's save that, go back in there and just refresh the whole page. Refresh, there we go. Right, that's fine. Now the next thing is I'm going to have to define some dev here. Let's come right down here and just say dev class equals container and close that. Then I'm going to need another one for the role. Yeah, let's copy and paste it right underneath here. That will be for the role and that will be for, let's come in here and just call that role. And because BootStrap has in total 12 columns, so I'm going to say column dash sm equals 4. That's how I want to divide my column. Then the next thing is, I know some of you will be saying, why am I using table? I feel a little bit more comfortable with using table, but I'm going to define a table in there. You don't have to use a table. I'm going to make the size of the border about 41. Okay, and let's say the class btn dash info. Yeah, close that. Now the next thing is, I'm going to come right down here and just, let's say, the table role and the table itself, the input that will be type. I'm going to make that button because I need button for my tic-tac-toe game. And the name, let's give that name btn1 as button 1. And then for the ID, I'm going to make that ID button, let's say buttons 1, because they will all be, they should all be called buttons anyway. Now when I click, what do I want the system to do? I want the player, I'm going to call that player player move. Okay, that's good enough for me. Player move this. Right, close that as well and close here. There. Okay, I'm going to now style this button. There we go. Maybe I should just break it down so that you guys can see it properly. Yeah, that's my button there, and I've also made the edge round a little bit. So I'm going to save that. Okay, let's go to the browser. I'll save that. Let's go to the browser and see what we've done so far. So where's the browser? Right here. Okay, refresh. There we go. That's my first button there. So what I'm now going to do is I'm just going to copy it across. So let's copy and just speed up the whole process. Paste it right underneath there. Okay guys, those are all the buttons created. Okay, I don't want you to get confused. This is, I just actually had to increase the font size so that you guys can see it properly. This is one button on its own, this another one, and another one here. Okay, and the same thing applies here. Okay, if I add a space, you should be able to understand it properly, and here as well. Okay, so if I save it now, and let's go to my browser, come right in here, refresh, and there we go. Those are all my buttons in the house. Alright, back in here, I'm gonna kind of like reduce the size a little bit so that I have enough room to complete the rest. And I believe you guys understand how the buttons are arranged now, so I'm going to kind of like move this up so that I have enough room. Just make it 3 by 3. There we go. Alright, so the next thing I want to do now is to create my output. So I'm going to create another table where the output will be. Okay, right underneath here, I'm going to create another division. So let me just copy this and paste it right underneath here. Yeah. And let's create a table. Might as well copy this very table as well and paste it right underneath here. Okay, so let's add some space so that you guys can see it. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now that the table is created, in this case I want the display of this very table to be 40. Okay, I want the border to be 40 and the class btn info, and the display is 3. Okay, what else do we need? We need the font width. Let's make that bold as well. Right, and we now need as follows. So the input in this case is going to be text input. So let me just copy this, copy that, paste it here, and then the player is going to be player X. Let's enter a column there and just close this up, close and close. There we go. Now the next thing we need to do now is to add, change this. The next thing we need to do now is to add the input type and names. I'm just going to copy all of this, come right out here and just paste it right here. Input type, and the name is going to be what? I'm going to call it txt player X. Good. And the name, no, the text, this should be text. Let's cut that off and paste it here, and this one will be text. Right, that's good. So the next thing is I'm going to give it an ID as well, and this ID is going to be player ID, player X ID. Right, now let's define the size. Might as well copy the style here. Okay, just copy everything, no, just up to here, copy that, paste that here. Right, just speed it up a little bit. Okay, that's the very first text created. I'm going to just create the other one. There we go, and just there. And we also need to close that very table. Come right down here and get it closed here. And in here I will now create some buttons. I'm going to need 2 buttons, one for reset and the other one is just going to be for new games. So let's copy some buttons here. I need 2 of those. Come right down here, right there. Those are the 2 buttons. I'm just going to close off the the divisions. So now let's save that and come to the browser there and just refresh. There we go, guys. Look at that. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's cool. Alright, so let me add a line underneath here. So let's go back in here and just add that line. I can even copy it up here. Where's my line? Let's copy that. And come right down here. Let's paste it right underneath here. And get rid of this. There we go. I think I might need around that. Yeah. Save and refresh that. There we go, guys. Alright. So everything is ready now. However, nothing is working. But as you can see, I've entered 0 in here. So if you come to the text here are those zeros are the default values. Okay, so those are the text and those zeros are the default value. Let me break it so that you can see. Those are the text box, and here these two are my buttons. Well, at least you all have a very good idea of HTML coding anyway. So I'm going to save that, refresh. I'm going to now go back to my Notepad++, and right here let's start work with the scripting itself. Okay, right underneath there we're going to start work, and let's close that script there. Now let's come down. Now the first thing I like to do is I'm going to, let's kind of like declare the following variables, because I'm going to need that. Let's just say equals nothing, and I'm going to declare another variable. I'll call that checker, and let's say checker equals letter X there. Now for my function, I'm going to call my function, I'm going to call it player move, and the player move is right here. Look at it on click. So I'm just going to call this player move, come right down here and paste it right there, and then call this variable inside the player move and enter a curly braces there. Now I will then use an if statement. If you like, you can call it conditional statement. I'm going to say if, open a bracket, btn dot value, and if btn dot value equals nothing, close that. So what I want the btn button to do is to have a look at whatever we have inside the checker. So come right down here, paste that there. Okay, so there, right. Let's enter a curly braces there. Oh, let's paste that up here and close that. So that's my very first condition. So if there's nothing in here, whatever we have in here is then stored in here. Okay, that is fine. Now let's use another if statement. So this time around I'm going to say if checker itself equals X. So let's change the value of this checker to O equals letter O, and close that off. We now use an else for our next condition. Else checker equals letter X. There we go. Right. So if I run this now, okay, I cannot just run it yet. Let's correct this. Yeah. Save that again. And let's go straight to my browser and refresh the browser. There we go. We can just enter X and zeros, whatever, in there. Reset, nothing can happen. There, let's go back. Alright, so the next thing is, let's now add some variables just to check on what we have inside or on each of those buttons. Okay, so I'm going to call the very first one, I'm going to call it B1. So I'm going to have up to 9 of those. B1. So let's say document dot get element ID, get element by ID, and that ID is the IDs that I have in there. I think I call it buttons with an S. Yeah, right up here. There we go, buttons with an S. Okay, I'm going to copy that and come right down here. Paste the ID there. That will be for button 1, and that should officially be inside the speech mark. Right, close that. Dot value. There, that's the very first one. So what I'm going to now do is just copy this around. I need 9 of those, 8 more, and let's just change it around and just speed that up. Okay, those are all my variables for the buttons in place. I also need 2 more variables, so that is going to be for the text box. So let's say Q, and in this case I'm going to say, let's pass some value into it. Pairs. Yeah, I want it to be an integer. Alright, so that's going to be document dot get ID. I'm just going to grab all of this, paste that in there, and the ID is going to be player ID dot value. Now let's get the ID here. The first one is the player. Oh, there we go, right here. Copy that, and this is the second one. Yeah, and paste that in there. I'm going to copy that again, paste that there, and let's just change this to letter P, and this one is going to be player OID. Right, save. So let's use an if statement here. Let's say if B1, I'm talking to this very object there, if B1 equals that, and B2 equals exactly the same thing, and B3 is the same, copy, paste, change the number around there, close the bracket, come right down, and let's say document dot, okay, and what is the name of my form here? The form is Tic Tac. There we go. There, copy that. I'm gonna need that. Come right down. Okay, right underneath here, I'm gonna say document dot tic tac toe dot btn1 dot style, so just to change the color, dot background color equals, the choice is yours, you can use whatever color you want, yellow. There, that's the very first winning condition. So once they win, I want to undo that. That's a mistake. If there's any winner, all of those change color. So this is 2 and 3. And the other thing that I want in there is, let's say q equals q plus 1, or you can say plus equals 1, and there we then say document dot tic-tac-toe document dot tic-tac-toe dot txt player x dot value equals q. There. Right, now let me add one more thing, a message box, alert, and let's just say player x1 the game. There. Right, I'm gonna save that and close this off here. Right, that's my first condition. Make sure it's saved. Okay, that's my very first condition taken care of. I'm going to, let's run it. It's saved, so let's come in here and refresh. Yeah, it's still working. Let's make sure we get, all right, that's correct. Okay, that is fine. Refresh. Let's make sure we have x there. There we go. All right, that's the very first part of it working. So that's the condition for button 1, 2, and 3. So I'm just going to copy that. The next one is going to be for button 4. Paste that in there, scroll right down, and let's change this one to 4, 5, and 6, because that is the arrangement of the buttons. So this one has to be changed as well. 4, 5, and 6. Okay. And if you come in here, let's say we come in here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the next condition is going to be 7, 8, 9. So let's copy again, paste. Have 7, 8, and 9. Now we'll repeat the same thing here. 7, 8, and 9. There we go. I want to save that. Okay, for us to know what is going on, I'm going to change the color, the button color once it wins. So let's say this one is going to be powdered blue, and just copy it around. And the next one is going to be cadet blue. Yeah. Cadet blue, and cadet blue. Right. Okay, I'm going to save that. Go back to my browser, refresh. Let's try to get a winner here. There we go. You see the blue color? That's the powdered blue. Refresh. This is not working yet, and let's try to get something here. There we go. That's cadet blue. That's fine. That's not working yet. Alright, that's good. I'm getting somewhere. So I'm just gonna copy and speed that up, guys. Okay, all of my conditions are now in place, and I've also taken care of the conditions for the or for the letter O. Let's take it from the top here, from here. Okay, from the script. I'll bring it down, have a good look at it. Variables that are declared. Now the conditional statement starts from here and all the way down for each of the buttons, grouped in three sets. So that's for the X winning. That's for the X winner. Here we go. And the next one, and I'll draw a line here. This is for player O. Player O is exactly the same lines of codes anyway. There we go. Yeah. So everything is ready apart from the reset button. Yeah, that's fine. Save that. And now let's have a go at it at the browser. Refresh. Now let's try to get player O to win. There we go. There we have one there. Alright, so let's see, refresh. Player O wins again. That's good. But these two are not working, so let's take care of those. So come back in here, and here I'm going to create some functions for those ones. Okay, right underneath here I'm going to create a function. So now this is a new, undo that. Yeah, right underneath here. That's going to be a new function entirely. Function btn. I'm going to call that clear. There. And the first thing I want it to do is document dot tic tac toe dot get it aligned to the right. And I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other text box, align to the right. Now let's clear the buttons. So that's going to be document dot tic tac toe button 1. Okay, and we just need to clear the value. So I'm going to copy all of these, come right down here. That's going to undo that. I meant to copy this, copy, paste it there, and this is going to be 1, and the value is going to be value equals nothing. There. So that's the very first one, so I'm just going to copy that and paste. Copy, paste, and paste. There. And let's just change the numbers around. This is going to be 2, and so on. Okay, that's it done. Then the other thing is to be able to change the color. So I'm going to copy just one of these. I want to refresh the color back to the original color, so paste that in there. This is going to be document dot, and that will be button 1. Okay, style, that will be style. Style dot background color. Background color equals nothing. There. Okay, so let's just make that different. Right, I'm going to copy that now. I need 9 in total. Okay, so let's just change the numbers around. So that's 2, and so on. Okay guys, those are the reset function, and I've also added an alert just to say resets and start a new program and start a new game. Right, okay, now we need that of new game. So we need another function here, so I'm going to call that function new game. So I actually need this very function. Let's copy that. We wouldn't need that function. Instead of writing it all, I'll just call that. And the name of my new function, copy this, paste this in there. Why I will change this to the name of my new function that's going to be known as btn new game. There. Now I also need to get rid of two things. Okay, since I've copied this function, so that take care of all of this, so I just need two more things. There they are. Copy them. I just need to change the value, paste that in there, and that is going to be that value equals 0. Yeah, and change this one as well. There. Copy that, come right here, paste. I think I am done. Yeah, I think I'm done. I have a line right there. All I just needed is this. There we go, guys. That's it. So I'm going to save that, and let's go to my browser. There we go. Now let's refresh the whole lot, and let's see. Okay, we have 3 there, so reset there. Okay, there we go. Right, now start a new game afresh. Click OK. There we go. Look at that, it's working, guys. So let's start a new game now. There. And that is how you create your own tic-tac-toe, advanced tic-tac-toe using JavaScript. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoy it. You all have a nice day now. Bye for now. And please do subscribe and join to be a member of my channel. Thank you and bye for now.